good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. Hey there, folks. My name is Brad Varnell, and this is the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Man, I am excited to be here with you this morning, folks. The last few days have been absolutely, as my son likes to say, phenomenal. Now, folks, I know that the market conditions haven't necessarily been optimal, depending on what your strategies and goals and what your mindset is like. But man, this last few days has been phenomenal here in the Infinite Crypto household. Day 6 of the 75 hard program. Been getting up a couple, 2, 3 hours, 4 hours earlier in the morning. Are you trying to talk to me, buddy? No, I'm sorry. Been getting up 2, 3, 4 hours earlier in the morning than I usually do. Been super productive. And then, folks, I know that a lot of you are probably unhappy about the markets. I've gotten a bunch of texts, a bunch of people calling me. Some of my biggest, some of the biggest investors that I'm connected with have hundreds of thousands of dollars in the market that were really freaked out by the last few days. But I love it when this kind of stuff happens. And so I was excited about this live stream today, because hopefully by the end of it, I can alleviate maybe a little bit of the fears that you have had, over the last few days, and hopefully, help you get a little more comfortable, if you will, with maybe getting some money invested in crypto. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you should go buy crypto, but I spent more money about 3 days ago on crypto than I had probably spent in one day in multiple years. Like probably back in 2021 was the last time that I spent the kind of money that I spent 3 days ago. And that's not to say that it was a huge amount of money. On an average day when I'm buying crypto, I'm spending, $500, $1,000, because I'm doing it on a somewhat consistent basis. Especially back in 2021, I was buying crypto, fairly regularly. So it wasn't like some astronomical amount of money, but I think I threw about $7,000 into the market on I think it was Sunday, when we really had the biggest dip, the biggest part of the crash. And then I have been rewarded since. I don't have my VPN turned on right now because my computer just runs a little bit faster without the VPN, and I want to give you guys the highest quality as I can on this stream. So I don't really want to pull up my MEXC Global account, but I'll just tell you, like one of the tokens that I really love and that I bought was Polkadot. Polkadot was beaten all the way down to about $4. And so one of the things that I did, some of the research that I did that gave me confidence to buy, was I went back and looked and saw that the very absolute lowest price that Polkadot got to during this last couple of years, during the worst part of the bear market, was about $3.67. And for about a week to 2 weeks, it trended in between about $3.90 and $3.67. And then that was back in October of 2023. And then it bounced back, and it was back to 455, 556, 657. And for those of you that want to go do the research, I want to say it was around March 12th of this year. It was all the way back to over a $10 token before, things cooled down again. So that was more of a swing trade for me, but I also bought it because I'm thinking to myself, hey, everybody's got different places that they stake their tokens. And so I'm open if you want to mention someplace better in the chat, because I don't love centralized wallets, but I'm, full transparency for Polkadot right now. Coinbase is paying, over 11% on staked Polkadot. And it's only got a 30-day unstaking period, a 30-day unbonding period. So for me, it's just simple to put it on Coinbase, stake it at 11%, somewhat forget about it. And then, November, December, October, whatever, I'm going to, when Bitcoin starts breaking through 100K, I'm going to start unstaking my tokens and making everything that I've got that I'm earning ROI on liquid, because I don't want Polkadot to run up to whatever, 50, 75, 100, $200 token. And then at the peak of the bull market, and on the way down, I unstake it. I got to wait 30 days, and you'd be amazed. $100 token at the peak of the bull market. Like if you go back to the peak of the bull market in November of 2021, like November, I think it was 11th or 12th was the peak of the bull market in 2021 as far as Bitcoin's price. If you go look at from November 12th of 2021 to December 12th of 2021, some tokens took a pretty big hit. So I don't want to take a token, even if I'm only got $5 invested in it. I don't want to take $100 token and during that 30-day unstaking period, wait for it to go down to $50. Anyways, so Polkadot is one of the tokens that I sunk a bunch of money into. So, the title of this video is what tokens am I buying to save my portfolio? And folks, depending on your strategy and your long-term outlook, you can go a lot of different directions. I really am, me, I'm a microcap gem hunter. I love looking for tokens that can do, 100x, 1000x, crazy numbers. At the same time, I love being able to buy top 25 tokens when they're smashed down. To me, Polkadot at $4. Matic was another one that I sunk some decent money into. You can see that I spent probably at $4 roughly a Polkadot, and I bought 1,000 of them. I spent over $4,000 of that 7K, in Polkadot. But I also threw some significant money and bought a lot of Matic. I thought Matic at 38 cents. It dipped down to 36 after I bought it, but Matic at 38 cents was something I just couldn't pass up. And then I also did buy a little bit of like the bottom of the microcap gems, something that I still believe in and believe is going to be massive. And that was, I bought some Beam Swap, some Glint tokens. I was able to get, I think it was $1.5 million Beam Swap for $426. Now, this is a token that was sitting at 001, I want to say it was. It was about $1,000 for 1 million tokens not very long ago. And now I was able to buy 1.5 million tokens for $426. It also was sitting at 002. So for a long time for a lot of the bear market, the lowest that it ever went was down to about $2,000 for 1 million tokens. So I feel like grabbing up 1.5 million of these tokens at $426 was great. And it's definitely jumped up a little bit. Not a huge amount, but I've made roughly $500 on that $4,000 DOT purchase. So I've made over 10% on the DOT in the last couple of days. I also bought a little bit of Ethereum. Like Ethereum was all the way down at around 2,200. I hadn't seen it at 2,200 for a while. I was like, why not get a little bit of Ethereum? I'm going to need it eventually for some gas transactions and for different things. I can throw Ethereum into the base network. I can throw Ethereum into, Arbitrum network, Optimism network, so many different networks that I can throw the Ethereum into for different stuff. So I thought, why not buy a little Ethereum? And Ethereum bounced from 22 all the way up to 25 or 26, like almost immediately. And long story short, I think it's, come down to earth slightly over the last couple of days. I was hoping for a bigger rebound, but I'm pretty happy with what I got and at the prices that I got it at. And if I need to hold on to it, for a little while, I'm happy to do that. I'm always talking about long-term holds. In this situation, though, that $7,000 was some money that I would like to maybe have access to before the end of the year. So full transparency, if the market does what I think it's going to do and it rebounds, Bitcoin heads back up into the 60, 65, 67 range, most of these tokens will, go another 20% higher. At that point in time, when I'm up 25, 30, 40%, I've turned that $7,000 into say $10,000, $11,000. I'm probably going to, at least cash out my initial 7,000 and then hold the other 3,000 or 4,000 in value. So in that particular case, like if I bought 1,000 DOT at $4 and now DOT goes up to $6, what does it take? What, 6 times 500 is $3,000. So 6 times 600 is 3,600. So 6 times 700 of the tokens would be $4,200. So I could literally sell 700 of the tokens, have a $200 profit, have my $4,000 back, 200 profit, and still have 300 more Polkadot. than I did before I made this trade. 300 Polkadot, if I am correct, and I believe that Polkadot is going to become a $50, $100, $200 token by the end of this year, then the $200 that I made on the front end is nothing, but the 50 or the 300 times 50 grand or 15 grand, or if it goes up to 130 grand, if it goes up to 260 grand that I made by willing to buy when there was blood in the streets, that's how you can get rich in this market, folks. And I was 100% fully aware that things could keep going sideways. Things could keep going down. That I could have been buying Polkadot at $4 and be waking up this morning and seeing $3 or $2 Polkadot. And maybe I would have been a little frustrated, but I also have conviction that I don't care if I bought $4 Polkadot 3 days ago and it was 25 cents today. There's still no doubt in my mind that towards the end of this year, $4 Polkadot is going to be a huge bargain. So I have found that a lot of times people try to wait and time the absolute bottom capitulation of the market, and it's near impossible to do. And in full transparency, if somehow Polkadot had ran down to $3 or $2, the limited amount of time that you would have had to buy it, you would have had to been sitting by your computer. You'd have had to be ready to go. I mean, I guess you could place some stink orders. That's another good way to do it. You could have placed some stink orders and maybe they execute, on you. But if Polkadot dipped down to $2 while you were sleeping, it probably would be back up to $3 or $4 by the time you woke up. So, the other thing about this is just educating yourself. If you're new to crypto, this all seems scary, and it's like, well, how did Brad know, or why did Brad think that this was basically the bottom of the market? So the reason I sunk all of that money into crypto is I was very certain, never can be 100% certain, but my conviction was that Bitcoin wasn't going any lower. And the reason for that, folks, is that I've been in this game for, going 8 years now. I've seen these days multiple times. That's the other thing. It didn't scare me. A day like Sundays happened 20, 30 times over the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's happened so many times that it's just another day. It wasn't even like a blip on my radar screen. I almost probably wouldn't even have known how bad everything was if the texts and the phone calls hadn't started coming in. So I appreciate all of you that freaked out, because you allowed me to make some big money, because I may or may not have noticed and bought these tokens. If this, like my one buddy that called me all freaked out was really like, really, Polkadot's down at $4? I had no idea. Let's go buy some. Anyways, so I have seen Bitcoin drop into the 50Ks several times over the last few months. And every single time it's rebounded fairly quickly. And as you guys can see, it rebounded from about 52, I think it was. Maybe it dropped into the 51 area, 52, and it rebounded all the way back up to 56 fairly quickly. Now it's sitting at about 54. Not financial advice. In my opinion, I think we're going to see 60K again in the not too distant future. I really believe that we're going to see some rate cuts, interest rate cuts by the feds. We've got the election. Everything is still the same as it was a couple of weeks ago. We've still got the election coming in November. We still, Bitcoin halved in April. Technically, usually most of the time, the real big part of the bull market doesn't start until around 6 months after the Bitcoin halving. So we got, I think April 11th or April 14th or something like that it halved. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys probably know better than me the exact date. But anyways, May, June, July, August, September, October. We're almost there. We've got the rest of August and September to get through, and then we're going to be at that 6 month mark. And then in November, we've got the election. And in September, we're probably going to have rate cuts. And folks, I continue to say, this is my thesis. This is my opinion. Please do your own research. Right now, the world is conspiring for us, even if it's accidentally. Don't get me wrong. I don't believe that the power, the elite of this country that are in control right now, they don't want us to get rich. They want us to be dependent upon them. At the same time, in order to get reelected, they need things to head in the right direction market-wise. They need to show the economy heading in the right direction. And for those of us that are willing to jump in head first and take the risk, I think that we're going to see an absolutely blow your top off amazing bull run this cycle. And I don't know if Donald Trump is going to get reelected or not. I think that we're going to be in great shape for the next 6 to 9 months, no matter who gets reelected, because of everything else that's happening. But if Donald Trump gets reelected, in my opinion, we're going to have 4 or 5 years of incredible economics, incredible growth in the cryptocurrency industry. He's totally committed to keeping crypto here in the United States. He's totally committed to growing crypto. And I think Donald Trump getting reelected is going to be massive, massive, massive for us financially. So whether you like him or not, that's besides the point. I saw a guy, I don't know if I'm going to quote this perfectly, but I think that this really made a lot of sense. He's like, we've got the two parties. You got the, Kamala Harris and you got Donald Trump. And his point was like, I either got to vote to stay broke or I got to vote for somebody that I don't like. Well, I mean, if that's you, I'll let you decide what's more important to you. So even if I was, and I ain't gonna dance around the bush. I like nothing about the current party. If you want to unfollow me and unsubscribe, I understand. No worries. I ain't your cup of tea. I like nothing about the current party. And I'm 100,000% voting for Donald Trump. And I would do that. I mean, like, I would vote for my 18-year-old son to become the president before I would vote for that party. So that, just put that out there. I'd probably vote for my 8-year-old son back when he was 8. I think my 8-year-old son could do a better job of running this country than the current party. So I probably shouldn't have said that. I might want to take this video down later, but I'll just say it. But I'm telling you, even if you love that party, do you love that party more than you love your financial freedom? Do you love it more than you love the ability to have freedom in your life and to be able to create financial wealth so that you can spend time with the people that are important to you? I don't. So even if I was somebody that really liked that party, it's very obvious between the two which one economically is going to be the best for the country. And so I would choose economic freedom for my country, no matter who I liked. And if I was kind of just lukewarm and in the middle on the whole subject, then if you are a cryptocurrency person, a blockchain technology lover, then you just about gotta vote for Donald Trump, in my opinion, if you want to see crypto move forward and grow the way that it will. Because the other side has been very, very clear for months and years now that they're totally against it. And, and anyways, man, I need to get off that soapbox. I almost wish I hadn't got on it. Real quick, let's go into the comments. Paul, if you're still around, buddy, you said you are a number one. You have bought some crypto in the last week. If you want to share in the comments what crypto you bought, that'd be awesome, man. I'd love to know kind of what you're focused on. One of the other tokens that I didn't pick up that I wish I would have was Aerodrome. I've been a huge proponent of Aerodrome, and that token's a little bit further down in the charts, a little bit further down on CoinGecko. But that was a token that I didn't have. The money that I spent on crypto was already like in crypto. So it was in, stables, and I didn't really want to go through the hassle of moving it over to Coinbase. I really didn't want to go through the hassle of having that, big transaction on Coinbase and then, have to explain what happened to it all and stuff, later on down the road. So I just, made my purchases, off of Coinbase. I would have probably bought some Aerodrome if I would have had, a little bit more time, but Polkadot was my main focus. Anyway, long story. Let's jump over into CoinGecko. Let me present my screen here and hop on CoinGecko. And here we are. Let me refresh this so it's 100% up to speed. And you guys can see here, Bitcoin is sitting at 56. Oh, thank you. Oops, that wasn't right. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry, guys. You'd think after a solid, I don't know how long we've been doing this Wednesday live stream, but it's been months and months and months now. You would think that I wouldn't make these same mistakes. And you get excited when you're talking though, and you're doing this. And sometimes it's easy to forget that you got to add stuff to the stage, and then you got to click here. There we go. There we go. There's CoinGecko. So as you can see here, Bitcoin is up at a little over 56,000. Still down, just a minute amount over the last couple of weeks. Folks, I'm going to throw my glasses on here. Hopefully, I don't look too funny. But I was out this morning in a chlorinated pool, and I noticed that when I'm looking at a screen like this, that my eyes seem just a little blurry. So let me throw on my reading glasses here. So you can see here, though, this 7 days, 15% over 7 days. Ethereum, 27% over the last 7 days. BNB 18%, Solana 17%. You just keep on going down. Look here. So Polkadot is still down 17%. If somebody said, hey, Polkadot ran down to, $3.98 a few days ago. Now it's bounced all the way up to $4.50. What do you think? Is it still a good buy? I would tell you anything under $10, in my opinion, is an amazing buy on Polkadot. You don't have to wait 6 months to make some good money on Polkadot at $4.50. Like, I believe just over the next 30, 60 days, you probably make 50% on your money. I will not be surprised at all if we get a bounce and you see $7 Polkadot. So from what, 450, half of 450 is 2.25. So I make it 675. You just need Polkadot to go to 675 to make 50% on your money. So if you had 100 grand laying around, you could throw 100 grand into Polkadot, and in my opinion, I think there's a very high likelihood that in the not too distant future, your 100 would probably be worth 150. And if I'm wrong, I'd be willing to go out on a pretty big limb and tippy toe out to the very end of it and tell you that if it doesn't happen in the next 30, 60 days, by the end of this year, I promise you would be happy with Polkadot at $4.50. I mean, there's nothing on this chart that I don't think you're going to be happy with at the end of this year. I mean, how in the world Ethereum at 2,400 down 27% for the last 7 days? Unbelievable buy, in my opinion. So, when I say what am I buying to save my portfolio, once again, this is kind of it. Even Bitcoin itself, I don't buy a ton of Bitcoin, but at these prices, I tell you, man, Bitcoin gets pretty attractive because you're looking at maybe a 3, 4, 5x on Bitcoin over the next 6 to 9 months. That's still a pretty solid return on your investment if you're somebody that's got some dough and you've already got some financial success in your life and you want to invest in something that is super, super like rock solid, basically guaranteed to go up. And also if you're somebody that's really looking at the long term, like if you've got a lens where you're looking at the long term, stepping back, and you're looking at the next 5, 10, 15 years, anybody that buys Bitcoin at 56 grand is going to be spectacularly happy in 5 or 10 years, when I believe it's probably going to be $1 million token, potentially more. I mentioned that Michael Saylor at Bitcoin 2024 was showing over the next 15 years, I think it was, how Bitcoin is probably going to be a $3 million to $15 million asset. 3 million on the conservative side, 15 on the aggressive side. Holy smokes. Can you imagine, folks? Like, you're 30 years old and you've done, okay in your life. Maybe you've been working since you were 20. You've got a 401k. You got a few dollars laying around, and you were able to buy 1 Bitcoin right now and just forget about it for 10 years. So by the time you're 40, your 56 grand is turned into 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, $15 million. And you can do that if you're smart and do your due diligence. You can do that tax-free, folks. You can buy Bitcoin through a Roth IRA. You can buy Bitcoin through different financial instruments where you actually have the ability to then extract that value out tax-free. So that's another story for another video. But man, the opportunity right now is just unbelievable. So let me, get back here. We've been going for 35 minutes already, or I guess it's only been about 25 since we got the timer. But I want to get you guys back out there and back into life and enjoying. So here we go, Paul. Paul has bought some Arrow, some Matic, some Ondo, some Glint, but also Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol. So folks, there's another gentleman who's part of the inner circle that is very well versed in crypto, that's really learned an incredible amount in a short amount of time. And these are some of the tokens that he has bought. So he's slightly different, but you notice here, like I said, I would have bought Arrow, and I kind of wish I would have bought Arrow. I'll probably go back here to CoinGecko and show you why. But Arrow, Matic, I bought. Glint, I bought. Ethereum, I bought. And then I bought, a little bit of Polkadot instead of Sol. But I certainly understand the Sol, and I certainly understand the Ondo. Like everything on this list is all stuff where had I bought this instead of buying what I bought, was amazing stuff. So you can see, that even Paul kind of agrees with my thesis that right now, when there's this much blood in the street, there's no reason to necessarily go crazy and try to buy a token that's down 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 on the market cap, that's only got $1 million, $1 million market cap. Now, don't get me wrong, though. There's some of those tokens, if you're willing to hold them for the next 6, 9, 12 months, that maybe you'd be extremely happy for buying too. But if you want to buy something that you believe is going to bounce, especially if you're looking to swing trade at all, I would stick up higher on the coin market cap. And for those of you that are newer to crypto, the reason I say that is these altcoin bull markets kind of run in cycles. And so normally the very last tokens to really have their massive run up the very last tokens that have a massive run up are usually towards the end of the bull market. You kind of get your top cryptos like your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and some of the top 10, 15 tokens that really run as Bitcoin runs up to 75, 85, 100,000. A lot of those cryptos are going to do very, very well. And then as Bitcoin starts to get closer to its peak, then the smart money starts pulling their money out of Bitcoin, and they start shoving it into these higher risk plays that, like the Glints and some of the other tokens that we talk about. And so a lot of times, folks, you're going to get a huge amount of the profit from this bull run in the last 30, 45 days. You're going to get some substantial gains leading up to the peak. But I'm telling you, that last 30 days is where you can literally, like, you took 10 grand and you've, 10x'd it to 100 grand and you're pretty excited. And then literally your 100 grand will turn into $1 million in a week or two or a month. Like, it's amazing how fast you can just you can look at your blockfolio or your portfolio every couple of hours, and it's like went from 100 grand to 103 grand to 106 grand to 115 grand. And it's just like, it's so exciting. I can't wait for you guys that haven't experienced to actually have a chance to experience it. So let me pop back here. I do want to pull this up real quick, and I want to show you. So if we look at Polkadot here over the last 3 days, it went from about $4 to $4.50. So it is up. What is that? About 10%, slightly over 10%. Let's pull up Aerodrome. I don't know for sure if Aerodrome is still sitting anywhere near as high as it was, but one of the reasons that I like Aerodrome, yeah, this is still at 66 cents. I want you guys to see here, this chart is, you can't quite see it here, but where's it at here? Let me see if I can zoom out to 7 days on here. Yeah. So this is why I kind of wish I would have bought Aerodrome. Had you been paying attention, you could have popped in some Aerodrome way down here at, it says 47 there, but I don't think I got my arrow low enough. Maybe I did. About 47 cents. So 47 cents all the way to a peak here, just barely a day later at 70 cents is basically about a 40% gain right off the top of my head, I'm going to say. So 50 cents times 40% would be 20%. 50 plus 20 is 70. So right in the ballpark of about a 40% gain. So had I sunk my $7,000 all into Aerodrome, so what's 40% of $7,000? 2,800. I would have made $2,800 from August 5th of 2024 at about 6:30 my time, Pacific Central Time, or Pacific Standard Time. And then if we go to this spot on the chart here, August 6th, 2024 at 10:13, it was at 70 cents. So I don't know if that's 10:13 a.m. or p.m., but literally either, 12 to 16 hours later or 24 to 30 hours later, you would have made 70% on your money. The last time Aerodrome dipped down into the 40s, I did buy some Aerodrome, and here it is. It's up. I haven't sold that Aerodrome because Aerodrome's a longer term hold for me. But these are the types of things that you look at. So for next time, if we have another huge dip and you see Aerodrome run down towards 40 cents, you can be relatively sure that that might be the bottom, or even if it's not the bottom, it's close enough to the bottom that you should feel comfortable potentially jumping in. If we hit this 3-month chart, I want to show you here. This is the other time where it came down. You can see here on July, this is right when I bought. On July 4th, it dipped all the way down to 42 cents. Look what happened. 42 cents on July 4th at, looks like, okay, so this looks like it's on military time. It's showing 21. So yeah, that other chart where it showed just 10 o'clock, that was literally like 16 hours later. From 6 at night till 10 o'clock the next morning, it went up 40%. Here, it was almost midnight. It looks like 21:11, so it's like 11 something p.m. at night. It touched down at around 40 cents. Literally, if you look here on July 6th, of 2024, it had popped all the way back up to 63 cents. So you could have made 50% on your money in a little over 24 to 48 hours right there had you bought this dip. And had you held a little bit longer, you see you could have got it here at 41 cents. And had you waited, instead of selling it real fast, had you waited, it popped all the way up to 98 cents on July 16th. So you could have made 100% on your money in Aerodrome had you bought it on July 4th and held it for 2 weeks. So folks, I know I'm the long-term hold guy. I'm always talking about, expanding out and looking at the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. But at the same time, folks, there are opportunities to make money faster, and it's all about educating yourself. And that's another reason I recommend any of you that are watching this that are not in the inner circle, folks. Yeah, it's $97 a month. Yeah, that $97 helps me. It covers. You realize how much money I have? I'm not gonna go on my soapbox, but this YouTube channel ain't cheap. My son, 18 years old, he's got a girlfriend, he's got a life. It ain't cheap. I've got an editor, a filmographer, the guy that edits all of my videos and that does all of the shorts and all of that. And then on top of that, I've got StreamYard, just the website to host the inner circle costs, $100+ a month. And then we got Squarespace and we got Stripe and we got blah, 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 blah. We got editing software. Like the $97 a month that you pay for that inner circle is just basically helping me cover some of my monthly expenses so that I can hopefully use some of my money to increase my wealth too. And so folks, right now we've got a special discount code. If you go to the description in the link, you can get 50% off your first 2 months of our Infinite Crypto Inner Circle Mastermind group. You're going to get in there. You're going to be able to see our rewards wallet and exactly what that entails. But folks, there's a very good possibility for those of you that jump in, and if you stick with this Inner Circle Mastermind group, that you're probably going to get a good portion of your membership fees back. I can't go into all of the details right here, but let's just say that I've got something in place that is hopefully growing, that's going to help me give you guys a percentage, if not all of your membership fees back. And it might even be in profit mode. Not financial advice. This is just something that I'm doing for my ride or dies, the people that really jump into this early. But right now you can get 2 months for half off. So $48.50 a month. And our next Inner Circle Mastermind is this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. I highly recommend jump in, get the membership, join us on Saturday. And I do want to make it clear too, even if you jump in and you get the 2-month discount, you can cancel it anytime. You're not required to pay the second month if you decide after the first month that you don't like it, but it's just a bonus to you. So instead of just giving you 1 month for half off, I'm giving you 2 months for half off. But you could technically only take advantage of one of those months. It's just going to be automatically going to take your $48.50 out for the second month if you don't cancel it, but you can cancel it at any time. So folks, go check out that link in the description, realinfinitecrypto.com. It'll give you a breakdown of exactly, not exactly, but most of what you're getting, because we're adding new things to it all the time. The rewards wallet and all of that isn't even on that website. We talk about that more privately, because it's not something that we really want to, put out there to the whole world. We want the people that like what we're doing and want to be a part of it to be a part of it. I don't want people just jumping in to the Inner Circle just because of that rewards wallet. I want them jumping into it because of everything else. And then the reward wallet is just a bonus, hopefully, for you guys. So, hey, Dave P., good morning. Thank you for being up here. We got Dave P. He picked up some more CAS, Bitcoin, Ton, and Crow. So another 4 amazing tokens. I think that CAS is absolutely a fantastic buy. Bitcoin, obviously, you can't go wrong with. Ton is another token that's just had an amazing run that I think is going to do fantastic during this bull market. And then Crow, which is the token for... why can't I think of the name of the platform anymore? Crypto.com. Yeah, Crow is Crypto.com token. I think those are all great buys. I see that Eric here got some Casper, some Boo. I don't know if I have heard of Boo, and I don't know that I have heard of Turbo. So maybe those are some tokens that, Eric, if you come back next Wednesday, maybe bring those up on the next live stream, and we will go over those. And then Curve, CRV, which is another fantastic token. And so, Casper was a great buy. I actually had one of the Inner Circle guys that's having some trouble with exchanges Venmo me some money, and I bought some Casper for him on MEXC and then sent it to his wallet. And I agree that he was like, man, I cannot not buy some Casper right now. He'd bought some a few weeks ago. Casper and the Shibu token that I promoted, or, that I did a video on here a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was. Shibu is a token on the Casper network, one of the first community tokens on the Casper network that I think is going to do fantastic. And I'm definitely a huge proponent of Casper. And I think it's a token that hasn't really gotten any attention at all so far in the last 9 months, even during the time when everything was great from October to April. The Casper network didn't really get its fair shake in that and didn't really have a huge run up. So I really think the Casper network and the Casper token towards the end of this bull run is going to do some fantastic things. So with that, folks, thank you all for being here with me today. Thank you for hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good value, and I hope if you've been sitting on the sideline and you've been kind of scared to death to jump in and maybe buy some crypto, maybe you'll decide to at least dip your little toe in the water and get yourself a little bit of something. It always makes sense if you've got X amount of dollars to maybe take 25% of it and throw it in now. And then that way, if I'm wrong and it goes down further, you still have 75% of your capital that you could dollar cost average in. So there's nothing wrong with that too. That's a great way if you want to mitigate some risk and you don't want to go all in at any one point. Just throw in 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. You can also layer your money in 25% on the way up too and still do very, very well. So with that, folks, Deanna, oh hey, thank you, Deanna. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And while I got you here, I want to just say that I love this lady so much, and I almost forgot to mention it, but today is our 6th year anniversary. Me and this lady have been together for 11 years total now, and I finally got her talked into marrying me 6 years ago. The first 5 years, it was a work in progress. And I tell you, our relationship, hopefully, like the more you get to know us, would give you hope. You know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. We've gone through a lot of ups and downs, but one thing that stayed constant is that we love each other. We're committed to making this marriage successful. And she's just an incredible, she's my ride or die. You know, she's my favoriteest person on this whole earth. I love her. I love her. I love you. I love you, babe. And I'm looking forward, folks. So it is my anniversary. Once we hop off of here today, she's been gracious enough. She knows that this channel's got a lot going on, that I'm still going to be doing some work here in my office, but I'm super excited come about 12, 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon to really spend an incredible evening with my sweetheart. So with that, folks, I will let you all go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to go have a fantastic rest of my day too. And we will see you again real soon. We've got a ton of stuff backed up and recorded that we are going to be publishing very quickly. So be on the lookout. We still have about 6 interviews or so from the Bitcoin 2024 conference. We just got a brand new deep dive video recorded. So for those of you that are in the inner circle, be on the lookout, because that token's probably going to get listed in our private gem chat that you guys get access to in the inner circle. This is you know, something that I think you guys might really like. So be on the lookout for some incredible content. It is definitely heading your way. So with that, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.